All right, so I'm talking to you people while Hockey Central is on, and I get a kick out of watching these guys. The funny thing is, last night I'm watching the hockey game. The hockey game ends, and they go to Jackie, and I'm at a loss to what the other guy's name was. But after the Canucks game, maybe you guys remember, it was the most awkward pairing I've ever seen of sports announcers. And some of the stuff he was saying didn't really jive with the highlights he was showing. He was like, "Oh, it'll make sense later." He's like, "No, no, it doesn't." And I said to Yvonne, I said, "I'm starting to see why I pick up subscribers because maybe I make a little more sense to other people. Yeah, I get the occasional name wrong, but man, at least I make some sense." Um, the the reason though that I'm doing video today is about tomorrow night's Leafs Canucks game. And I don't know how much time I'm going to have later to do a video. I don't know tomorrow how much time I'm going to have either, especially before the game. Okay, everybody's expecting after the Kadri hit, there's going to be some nastiness tomorrow night. I'm calling it right now. There's not going to be anything. The Canucks are right now barely holding on to their hopes of making the playoffs. And apparently Jim Benning still wants to add to the team because he still thinks it's a playoff contender. The Leafs, on the other hand, are not in a position where they can turn a game into a goonfest and lose it. And when goonfests happen, the winner is inconsequential. Both teams need the win. There's not going to be any goonery tomorrow night. I really don't see it happening. You may see, um, you may see a fight between Derek Dorsett and Matt Martin. I would bet on that one. I'd bet on Matt Martin being on the ice, Dorsett being thrown on the ice. They throw down. The crowd goes nuts, and then the rest of the game takes place. Hopefully, that fight happens in the first 5 minutes. It's done, it's out of the way, and it's finished. Um, and outside of that, I don't see anything happening. I think with where the Canucks are in the standings and the Leafs are in the standings, it makes no sense for either team, and they both have coaches that are smarter than that. Um, Although Willie Desjardins decided to play Magna with the Sedins last night for a while, and I was like, wait, I like Magna. Don't get me wrong. Jason Magna is the kind of farmhand player who can come up and fill in and play a capable role in your bottom six. When he's with the Sedins, there's a problem, and I had predicted before the season even started that the Canucks offense was spread thin and moving Louis Eriksson to that second line and not having him with the Sedins might be smarter. I'd expected Alex Burrows or Yannick Hansen to play that role with the Sedins. And last night, we ended up with what we ended up with. Um, and of course, the excuses are there. The Canucks are playing without Tanev, they're playing without Edler. So the excuses are there. Canuck fans have reasons now to say, oh, see, we weren't healthy, just like last year. And, that's an excuse any team can make. The reality of the fact is that good teams have the depth to overcome the injuries, and the Canucks really don't. I was impressed with Trampkin last night. Um, I'm always impressed with Bo Horvat. He is really, really looking like a force on the ice. Whether he scores or not, it doesn't matter. The points he produces are just, whatever. It sort of reminds me of Trevor Linden, more than anything else. I don't think he's ever going to be a Bertuzzi type power forward. I think we're looking at a Trevor Linden stereotype. Trevor Linden in his younger years was capable of a point a game. He was a very good scorer, and that kind of gets lost because he stuck around the league so long after that left him. Um, so he was a 20-goal scorer and a 10-goal scorer for a lot longer than he was a 30-goal scorer. But Linden was a very accomplished scorer in his career, especially early. And Horvat is showing that he is on that trajectory. As far as I'm concerned, he is another Trevor Linden, and hopefully stays in Vancouver for next 10 years because you need guys like that. You need those glue guys to stay. You need those leaders, and he's a natural leader to stay. But outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot to be happy about. I mean, the Canucks again only managed one goal. Ryan Miller, uh, the second goal was weird, and you can't fault him for the fact that his defenseman had it bounce off his knee into the net. The third goal was bad, and he knew it was bad. His reaction after the goal when he rolled his eyes and looked up, that's Ryan Miller saying, I should have had that. And I respect Ryan Miller for that. I respect a goaltender that'll do that. Because there are goaltenders that after they allow the bad goal will freak out and turn around and smash the post with their stick. Or they'll freak out in some other manner. Or they'll just skate around the ice with their head down. And Miller just rolls his eyes like, well, I should have had that one. And then he gets set and he's ready for the next play. It's a shame that when he has a decent game like last night and he allows one bad goal, the Canucks do not have the offense to make up for it. And the Canucks don't have the offense to make up for anything right now. They just don't. There's no offense there. They said last night that that's the 15th time in 24 games the Canucks have scored 2 or fewer goals this year. You win nothing that way. So that's their problem. Benning's trying to add offense. He has nothing to trade to get offense other than that #1 draft pick, and he'd be insane to trade it. So there's that. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there before anybody starts asking me about the Leafs and the Canucks. If you're going to be tuning in to watch fisticuffs and some nasty brawl, I think you're going to be royally disappointed. The Canucks and the Leafs do not have lineups that work that way. The Canucks don't want anybody taking another run at the Sedins, and certainly the Leafs don't want anybody taking a run at Matthews or Marner or Nylander. So neither team wants that. And they're not conference rivals anymore. That rivalry doesn't exist. This is the second and last time they meet this year. So that rivalry is not going to happen. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that for today. I will be back with further videos later on. And yeah, so I wanted to throw that out there. My preview of the Leafs and the Canucks for tomorrow night is this. It should be a fun game. I think the Leafs probably win it because they score, the Canucks can't. Goaltending cancels each other out. Defense, I would give the Leafs the edge because of the fact that Edler and Tanev are both hurt for the Canucks. More missing Tanev than Edler. Edler hasn't been playing very well this year. But that's hockey. And I think Toronto probably wins it tomorrow. But regardless of who does or doesn't win it, I don't anticipate a ton of penalty minutes. And I don't anticipate a lot of brawling. And if anybody's, thinking, oh, so-and-so is going to go out on a stretcher tomorrow night, no. And the Leafs are coming into this game having played in Calgary and Edmonton back-to-back. I mean, they don't, when you're on the tail end of a longer road trip or that western swing and you're coming from the east, you just don't feel like getting into some knockdown, drag-out brawl. Your energy's there at the start of the game, not towards the end. I can't see them doing it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're passing through. And you're going to end up seeing a lot of this hat because I love Minnesota North Stars. Just anything Minnesota North Stars, I just go gaga over. And yeah, unrelated to the Canucks and the Leafs, but why I have this garb today is because I'm going back to back home, well, my other home today, to pay my last month's rent to the landlord. This team moved, and I'm moving. So it's the theme. It's a theme I have going on. Yeah, and that's it for now. I'll be back to talk to you all again later.